Today, we're speaking with a gentleman who is originally from Memphis, Tennessee. He got his bachelor's in nursing, Bachelor of Science in Nursing from the University of Memphis. And he's currently in a doctorate of nursing program with a specialization in surgery. And he currently resides in the Bay Area. Today, we have the privilege of speaking with Mr. DeMarcus Stevenson. Welcome. Hey, DeMarcus.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I assume you'll be doctor.
After 2 years and counting, it's been a long time
Hey,
coming.
I love it. I'm interested in sharing the lives of brothers from a variety of professions. And I was so excited when my BFF, I reached out to her and said, come on, now you're a pediatrician. Don't you know I haven't interviewed any Black men who are in the nursing profession. Who you know? And she didn't even take a second. She was like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe I never mentioned DeMarcus to you. And so I'm just really excited that we got connected that way. And as always, I'm going to use this opportunity to say to my listeners and my viewers, I'm always looking for guests. So if you know someone who would make a fantastic guest, someone that people should hear their voice, they're a Black man who lives currently in the United States, please go to 365brothers.com and have them fill out the guest information form, or they can just reach out and contact me at shine@365brothers.com. And so having said all of that, let us jump right in, DeMarcus.
One of my biggest accomplishments, I believe, is actually getting accepted into nursing school. A lot of people don't know the BSN is one of the top 3 hardest degrees to actually, finish. I feel like the odds were against me. 1, being a male, 2, being Black, and 3, going into a female dominant position. Especially back in 2002, 2003, when I applied for nursing school. And just defeating the odds, the statistics, because, they said it's me being a Black male at 16, I was going to be in a gang, 18 in jail, I was going to be dead by 21, and I defeated the odds. 16 years later into this profession, I'm that same Black man, and I'm in a doctorate program. I'm in the program. I'm actually doing it. I'm 2 years out. So, and sometimes I even look up taking a test and I'll be like, wow, like I'm here, like I'm doing it. I'm actually doing what I set out to do.
Yeah. So I actually want to ask you just a little bit more about that, because one of the reasons I specifically sought out interviewing a Black man who's in nursing is it is so rare. I'm over 50, so I had a colonoscopy already. And I had never had a Black male nurse ever in my life that I can recall, not once. But why? When I go to get a dang on colonoscopy, that's the first time I see this tall, handsome nurse. It just was not cool.
It's funny you say that, because believe it or not, it's so many of us. So we have a lot of groups on Facebook. You got Black male nurses on Facebook. We have what's called Rapid Response, which is a group of Black male nurses, and we actually travel together. I've been to Italy with this group of guys. I've been to Africa with this group of guys. We've been to Puerto Rico, and we've traveled statewide. And before I joined this group, I didn't see a lot of me. I didn't. I'm like you, like, wow, like where did you come from? And it's actually a lot of us. And we try to have scholarships, and we try to mentor African American males that, undecided in college, that's undecided, that don't know what they want to do. Nursing that's the way to go. I'm not going to tell you it's easy. It's probably by far one of the hardest things I've ever done and accomplished. Well, especially undergrad. It got a little easier, grad, and it's kind of hard now, but undergrad, that was one of the hardest things ever. So I'm not going to sit there and tell you it's going to be easy, because it's not. But we're there to push, and help you along the journey, so so that you can accomplish it. So it's a lot of us out here.
Okay, well, see, now I got a couple things. I hope I don't lose track of these 3 thoughts that are circling like cups in the air. So the first one, let me pull the first one down, is, could you say the name of that organization again?
It's a Black male group on Facebook called Rapid Response. You have Black male nurses. You have the African American Male Nurses Association of the U.S. You have Male Nurses of the U.S. which black, white, black, brown, white, Puerto Rican. It's just
Yeah.
all of us. It's just a group of male nurses.
So you say it's a lot of you. That's when y'all together. But in the whole field of
I guess
nursing as a
right.
percentage.
If I'm gonna say about 5 or 6% because it's we had this big gala back in 2016, 17, and it was for male nurses. A group of guys got together. They Rapid Response Organization, and they did this big thing in Atlanta, and we all went. It was formal, and they gave out awards. And I believe then it was like 6%.
Okay.
Because nursing, one, is a white dominant profession, and two, it's a female dominant. So
Yes,
the males that's in it are mainly white males, but I'm gonna say 60% make up African American men.
The nursing profession has been among the top 10 growing professions for over a decade now.
Oh, yeah.
Everything healthcare is, we need more because of both the growth of people who are living longer, the large baby boomer population, and then the fact that we live longer, but we got more chronic illnesses.
More illnesses, so, right.
I do want to say, because you said it's one of the hardest, and I appreciate that you are talking specifically about the bachelor's. Not that the CNA isn't hard either, but there are all these levels, right? There's the CNA, the Certified Nursing Assistant, which is a lot of students will start there. And then there's the AA, which would be the LVN, the licensed vocational nurse.
Right.
And then your bachelor's is going to be your registered nurse.
Right.
That's like the next, that's the equivalent.
You have a lot of nurses still now that has the 2-year associate nursing, which they're trying to phase out the diploma nursing. So mainly it's basically because most hospitals they want to go into what they're called magnet status, which they want you to have that bachelor's degree and be a bachelor's level. So, and they're giving a lot. I remember before I started traveling back in 2014, that a lot of these hospitals were giving 2-year nurses 2 and 3 years to finish their bachelor's.
Okay.
And it was paying for it, yeah.
And then my last question is, and it's funny, the only reason I know so much about nursing is because how I met Dr. Donna, my BFF, is when I was in law school and she was going into med school. And so we would do these workshops together. I would do pre-law and she would do pre-med. But for that bachelor's degree in nursing, it's a lot of science similar to like a pre-med, is it not?
Basically, honestly. So believe it or not, my major was pre-med biology.
See?
But I ended up talking to a friend, and he was like, "Why do you want another male?" He's a nurse as well, but he's a white guy. Love him to death. One of my good friends. We finished together. He was like, "Mom's a nurse, and I'm going to nursing school." And I was like, "Me ain't going to nursing?" He's like, "Yeah, come on, be a nurse." I was like, and like you said, those, like, you have to finish all those prerequisites. I had to have A&P 1 and 2, biology, chemistry, microbiology, anatomy and physiology 1 and 2. So finishing those courses to actually go into the pre-med program, I actually deterred and applied for the nursing program and got right in.
Yeah.
And I don't regret it at all. I don't regret it at all.
What is it that you love about being a nurse?
Me personally, I've always been that guy to help people. My mama tell you that now. I've always been a helpful hand. That gift of helping and wanting to help, and I guess I'm just an emotional person. I'm just sensitive, and I just want people to just feel better. I remember starting out. I worked in oncology and hematology. I worked at a cancer clinic, and that was probably one of the hardest jobs I ever had, because they're here today, gone tomorrow, and I always just wanted to be a helpful hand and be that bright and shining guy when they walk in, and people tell you I just have this big bubbly personality. I'm just laugh a lot. I'm loud. I'm just life of the party, and I'm that person at work too. I'm everybody's on a first name basis. Nursing is the best thing that I think I've ever done. That was the best decision of my life. I don't regret any of it. I just love what I do. I just love what I do. I
so love hearing all of that.